us deciding to do a home birth. It was us deciding to take control of how we were going to bring our child into the world.
Yeah.
Audio Jungle.
Oh, the home birth was head and shoulders, better than the hospital birth. The hospital birth, you have to understand that you're in someone else's environment. So even though it's your birth, it's their environment. So they get to dictate how your birth is going to go. They have their own protocol. The nurses and doctors are trained through their own system. So you can hoop and holler and say that you have your own wishes, but ultimately at the end of the day, it's going to be a struggle. So us deciding to do a home birth, it was us deciding to take control of how we were going to bring our child into the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, so with Savvy, with our first one, I went like 41 weeks, 3 days pregnant. We ended up being induced because the hospital was saying that it was just too dangerous to go beyond those dates. So we had a hospital birth with Savvy.
Mm-hmm.
We did hypnobirthing with her. Overall, just because of like our teamwork and everything that we did together, it was a really beautiful experience.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew after her birth that I was like just hoping and praying that you would be down for a home birth, because I knew that's what I wanted to
You did a good
go.
job convincing.
So with Niall, we went also, we didn't make it to 41 weeks. We were almost there. We made it 40 weeks, like in 5 or 6 days.
Yeah.
And at that point I started getting anxious because I was like nervous that I was going to have to do hospital induction. And, during COVID times in Japan, like we're in Tokyo, so we're in a place where we don't speak the main language. So yeah. I'd been at Sosan's all afternoon getting all the things, all this incredible treatment. And I just want to say how grateful I am because, in the States, you go past your due dates and they're threatening you with, oh, your baby's going to be too big. Yeah. Oh, you don't have enough fluid in you. We need to induce all these things. Very,
very fear-based.
Yeah. Here, under Sosan's care, I was going beyond my dates. And I basically had, like, the spa day from heaven.
Yeah. like, just come over here and hang out.
Yeah, just come hang. I'll feed you. You get all the massages. Like, I am so grateful just for that experience. It's like, so with Savvy, we did an induction, and so I felt like oh my gosh, overwhelmed. There was no break. It was like the contractions were just like hitting me, like they were like attacking my body.
Yeah, double peaking contractions, just back to back to back.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of the things that played into the fact that we were so exhausted because there was just no breaks in between. And that's because of the induction.
Yeah, and so this time, though, I got to actually feel how it was, like, the natural experience and, like, the perfect cocktail.
Yeah.
Where, like, I was resting and then, like, I felt the surge coming. Like, I knew, like, my body would tell me, like, okay, wake up, you're going to have a surge. And then I would feel it go up and then, like, it would increase, and then decrease. Now you can go back to sleep. And it was just, like, wow. Like, I was, like, this is beautiful. Like, I was so just in awe of, like, the process this time. And I wasn't, like, running from them this time. I didn't mind them. Yeah.
No, those chemicals are releasing. We know, through our training that the body has natural chemicals, oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, that's being released. You're supposed to get this cocktail at this point. But, that comes, the more naturally you do this, you know, those things happen. So that's
incredible.
What we were chasing.
Yeah. I just love that you were like so at peace enough to actually go to sleep because just knowing you and how we are, like as protective as you are. Like, there's no way in hell you would have gone to sleep when we were in the hospital at Savvy's birth.
No, it's
so
just,
to see that you were so confident to sleep here, I think it actually made me be like, because I'm always, you know how I am, like when we fly, like on a plane, I'm always looking at you to see like if we're about to die. So if you're calm, then I know that like it's fine. So the fact that you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep, I was like, oh, like we must be doing pretty well.
Yeah,
I could tell since you were calm.
Yeah, a combination of us being in our own house.
Yeah.
Having a trustworthy doula, and knowing that we haven't done anything out of order that's going to affect her body negatively. So everything's fine. We're all calm. There's nothing, that could go wrong that we couldn't handle. So it was time for me to get some rest.
Yeah. So Son asked if she could check me, and when she did, she said that I was only 3 centimeters. And mind you, remember I had been walking around 2 centimeters for a couple of weeks. So this means in all this time, all day till now, like maybe 10:30 at night or so, I'd only gone 1 centimeter. I'm not in a hurry. So if if the baby wants to take his time, I'm okay.
Nobody's spazzing.
Yeah.
Which is, that's what would have happened at the hospital.
Yes.
This is going to be, that's just what they're trying to do.
You're on the clock.
You're on the clock. So.
Yeah.
Nobody's rushing, nobody's spazzing.
It was nice that Sosan was like, so I'm going to go have Julian get me a blanket and I'll be on the other couch and we're just going to go sleep and you guys keep doing what you're doing and we'll come up and check on you and baby every hour or so.
Yeah.
And the whole time, now you're like, you've been up now for a while. You've been like bringing me like coconut water and like healthy snacks and like
you gotta have the snacks and the water and everything on standby.
The healthy snacks.
Snacks, because labor, you don't know how long labor is going to be. She's going to need to refuel. She's going to need energy.
It's like a marathon. And you were great helping me with that.
Gotta have it ready to go.
Yeah, that was another thing we learned from our first one. We didn't have all of that. So
we didn't have our food ready.
Yeah,
we just weren't prepared.
We were rookies.
Yeah.
It seems like it's like quite labor intensive.
You just gotta, know what you need. So when I knew we needed a birth tub, you need a tarp, on the ground just in case water spills. You need a hose that connects directly to, whatever faucet you're going to be nearest. And you need to have some type of temperature control because the water needs to be comfortable. So you got to go, just think about all that. So your nearest home goods store, you need to be able to snatch up some of those things. If you're going to have a home birth. So it wasn't hard because we had already thought about what we needed, weeks prior. So at that point, it was just, hey, let's fill it up to this level. Let's make sure the temperature is perfect. And, when the baby comes, she'll be ready to get in.
So you guys were like running the hose from the kitchen sink and like doing all the things.
Running the hose from the kitchen to the tub, filling it up. Coming back every so often to check the temperature, making sure it was still good, adding more water if needed. Yeah.
He's like holding the diaper under me because there's still water gushing out and like such a moment.
But in your own house.
Yeah.
So again, you're comfortable.
Yeah.
You're not, worried about being in some foreign space while you're doing this. Yeah.
Yeah. And so looking back on it, that's so crazy that we're just sitting in the water. His head is just out in the water.
Yeah,
no one's panicking.
No one's telling her to push and all that craziness.
Nothing.
Is just, hey, the baby's coming.
Yeah.
Baby knows when he wants to come.
I said, just wait.
Yeah.
So we step out of the birth tub. Like at this point, Mal hadn't made any sounds or anything yet, but still no one was rushing. No one was worried.
It's still a calm environment.
Yeah.
You would have not even thought we just had a baby. Everybody's just calm and a lot of
quiet.
oohs and ahs.
Yeah.
Quiet oohs and ahs. Nobody's screaming, nobody's sweating, nobody's yelling. It's just peaceful promise.
Yeah. Yeah. We waited for the placenta to come on its own. There was no like pressure about that or concern about that, or it just came. I will say that those surges after Now was born were so intense. I think part of it was because now I was like very present.
Very
I was
rare.
not.
Adrenaline rush is gone.
I stayed laying down on my back, and Niall got like all of his like first vitals and everything right there in our living room. Like
right there. Oh man,
it's so cool.
It was the best.
Yeah.
Because again, controlled environment, super comfortable. You trust the people that are involved.
Yeah.
And you're just not worried at all. So then I went to the kitchen, washed my hands.
Yeah.
Started cooking for everyone.
Because it was like, I think it was born, what was it, 6:04 in the morning. So we labored through the night. And then in the morning, as the sun was coming up, he just came right into the world.
That's
and
right.
So it was like,
you know, one thing I was impressed with, because we weren't forced to push, there was limited tearing.
Yeah, there was like no, I mean, very like superficial, minor tear this time. So small. Like all I had to do, all they told me afterwards was to just try to make sure I lay down a lot with my legs together for like the first week or so. And they said the skin would like fuse back together on its own. Yeah. And it did. Whereas the first time, with the guided pushing and the epidural and everything and the rushed pushing, I tore really like what I feel was pretty severe tear that first time. So the healing process was so different. And this time, what?
Yeah.
Like
smooth. It truly felt like a village.
Yeah.
You know, it felt like we had a village taking part and you know, giving birth.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we were here with these strangers.
Yeah.
You know, we had been dealing with these folks for, you know, months.
Yeah, almost a year.
Almost a year, and then everybody was present for the grand finale.
Yeah.
So, man, can't get much better than that.
It was a dream.